Hello everyone, I am Kylie and I am a professional speaker, advocate, artist from Sydney in Australia, the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of Australia and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I am very pleased today to be part of the Dubai World Down Syndrome Congress and to share my personal experiences of intellectual disability. I sometimes talk about it as the baggage that I carry. I am certainly not thinking about baggage as in going for a holiday. I am talking today about the baggage that probably many of us live with throughout our lives. When I look back at my life, I can now see just how much having a label and being easily recognized as a person with an intellectual disability was a weight I dragged around with me. As an adult with Down syndrome, I felt like an old suitcase that I trust along with. Sometimes the handle fell off as I tried to move on. I felt as though I was in lockdown. I was unable to grow and unlock my potential. Not long ago, I was part of an Inclusion International consultation process on Article 19 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability, the CRPD, on deinstitutionalisation and living in the community. Inclusion International then took a position paper to the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child Day of General Discussion on Children's Rights and Alternative Care. No one should grow up in an institution is Inclusion International's call to action. Knowledge is power, and our understanding of the rights that people with disability have under the CRPD is the best tool we have to unlock our hidden potential. It was a wonderful experience for me as a self-advocate. Now, I want to understand more about how the CRPD can help me to unlock my hidden potential. Australia ratified the CRPD in 2008 and made the following declaration. Australia recognises that persons with disability enjoy legal capacity on an equal basis with others in all aspects of life. Australia declares its understanding that the convention allows for fully supported or substituted decision-making arrangements which provide for decisions to be made on behalf of a person only if such arrangements are necessary as a last resort and subject to safeguards. I was born in 1979 and as the first child with Down syndrome to be integrated at my local school in Canberra. There were times when I did not feel welcome. It was hard for me to speak clearly and be understood. And because of that, I was bullied and laughed at. But the teachers recognized that I was learning, that I could focus that my family supported me and that I was happy, becoming confident in the school environment. At high school and college, the bullies sometimes made fun of me when we walked to and fro from school. I would often get into trouble for being late. I was called a bitch and other horrible things. Sometimes I felt I was in the middle of these bumps or dodging cars crowding around me. I couldn't escape. Maybe all children experience these things. The difference for me was that I knew I was different, that I was one of a kind. Kids treated me that way. I stayed away. Despite the isolation I felt, my parents were there for me and were always ready to make sure the baggage I was carrying could see the light of day now and then. They believed in me. They knew I had potential just waiting to be unleashed. The baggage returned with a vengeance as I moved into adulthood. A girl I knew from school worked at a bank. She tried to give me the wrong amount of cash. I told Mom about this incident. She helped me to report it, and the girl was dismissed. I was given jobs that no one else wanted, like cleaning toilets and washing dishes and pans. I was blamed for things I did not do, that I had been looking up a girl's skirt when she was stacking shelves in the supermarket. Self-support agencies did not have the trained staff or enough hours of support to help me when I needed it. No matter what training or certificate I earned, the opportunities for people like me just were not there. My workplace supervisor used to pat me on the bottom and laugh when he walked by because he thought it was funny. I was told that I was harassing people when I had no work to do and asked if I could help with anything. I had to resign on mental health grounds from a job that I was proud to have, but not given the support I needed to maintain it. I had to endure so much pain growing up, just because I was me. That when my parents divorced, when I turned 18, my bucket was about to explode. I was fighting to contain it. I felt alone. I was suffering silently. I was harming myself. I wanted to let the pain bleed away. The anger, the frustration, and the sadness became overwhelming. It took a long time to learn to step off the conveyor belt and leave my baggage to end up as lost property. However, a different direction opened up when, with the help of my mum, I started my public speaking business and began to find my voice to advocate for other people with intellectual disability like myself. The CRPD sets out 17 important articles stating the rights of people with disability. But there is still so much work to be done to make sure those rights are understood, recognized, and enforced. People like me should be speaking up about the baggage we still have to carry because our laws and institutions do not yet support some of these rights in a way that makes us feel valued and respected in our societies. For example, Article 5, equality before the law without discrimination, and Article 12, equal recognition before the law and legal capacity. When my father died in 2018, he left a trust administered by a sole trustee. Despite legal approaches, the trustee has not and will not share with me bank statements or audits relating to my inheritance. I do not know what provision has been made, if any, to protect my inheritance should the trustee die before me. How can I achieve equal recognition before the law? A doctor's certificate recognizes that I have legal capacity to have equality before the law without discrimination. But how can that be enforced? Article 16, freedom from exploitation, violence, and abuse, and Article 17, right to respect physical and mental integrity. I have given evidence last year and again this year to the Australian Royal Commission into Violence, Abuse, Neglect, and Exploitation of People with Disability. The trustee does not respect me with the trust. I am cut out of knowledge about my own inheritance. This is beyond unfair and unjust. It is exploitation. I have the right to know everything about the trust. The hurt, pain, and mental distress I have suffered has caused me physical injury as well. In May this year, I was diagnosed with shingles, which has left me with a damaged right eye. Family relationships have been damaged by the management of the trust. Article 19, right to live in the community. In March 2020, I was gifted my Bichon Frise puppy, Alfie. Just as COVID-19 lockdowns began in Sydney, my home city. Unfortunately, its training program has been greatly interrupted due to ongoing lockdown restrictions. Nevertheless, we were able to join the Mind Dog program, which allows selected dogs to be trained to assist people with mental health issues. Alfie is afraid of my neighbour's big dog and barks when the door slams as I go in and out. Unfortunately, my neighbours contacted Mind Dogs and told them I was not fit to manage Alfie and that he is dangerous. As a result, Alfie was suspended from the program. I had to involve the police to ensure that Alfie could continue his training with Mind Dogs. How can this happen to someone with an intellectual disability in a supposedly welcoming community during COVID lockdown, which stresses and worries every one of us? Article 21, freedom of expression and opinion. My public speaking business has given me many opportunities to express my opinion about the rights of people like me to speak up. I am particularly keen to speak up about the recent British High Court judgment allowing the abortion after birth of unborn babies likely to have Down syndrome. How should I feel when I hear that supposedly intelligent people make laws suggesting that my life and the lives of these unborn babies is not worth living and loving? Article 22, respect for privacy. My neighbours have been filming and recording me and Alfie through my door and apartment walls and out in public all year. Should I not respect and privacy? Would they act in the same way with other people? Article 25, right to health. I have a right to good health. I have a right to not be distressed and depressed by people in my own family and in my own community who do not know or care about the importance of the CRPD for those of us with intellectual disability and the negative impacts they can have on our health. Article 27, right to work. Yes, I have the right to have a job that I like, that is supported, that makes me feel confident and proud, and that enriches my life. I have the right to have a job where I feel safe and valued, a job where I am not bullied, harassed, or diminished because of who I am. Article 28, right to adequate standard of living. Yes, I am fortunate, thanks to my father's trust, leaving sufficient funds for me to live independently in an apartment. But the baggage uncertainty around its ownership and management remains. Article 29, right to participate in political and public life. COVID-19 has had a tremendous impact on my life. Sadly, it has brought a lot of unhappiness and misery to many places in the world. For people like me who rely on other people for support, the impact has been enormous. I feel that now is the time for me to step up my advocacy to an international level. I want people like me to know their rights so that they too can be empowered to make their governments accountable for upholding all our rights that are spelled out in the CRPD. I conclude with a message of hope. Despite the pain and suffering that I have carried with me in my baggage as I was growing up, and I am proud now that my public speaking and art business has helped me to lighten the load that has been weighing me down. I feel now that my baggage is more like a backpack that I can carry around, full of all the helpful tools I have learned to use to unlock my potential. My dream is that one day, all people with disabilities that have their voices heard, we can all learn to not just unlock, but unleash our potential. The CRPD can and should shine much more sunlight on the faces of people like me. And, of course, my Alfie. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to peek into my backpack of my unleashed potential and join those of us who wish their voices to be heard, please visit my website, www.kyliedownsbarriers.com.au. Thank you very much for listening to me.